Hello scrappers and planet lovers, Tin Man here with another video. So today what I want to do is look at a few of these older style fans. You can find fans all the time on garbage day. They come in different sizes and models. And the great thing about these older ones is that they are 100% scrap material. A lot of your newer models, the covers have been replaced with plastic as well as the base. But those two are good scrap material. And I do have full breakdown videos on some of the recent ones, or the newer models, as well as this square stand-up one. This is an older one, but I will include the link to that full breakdown in my description. For this video, I do want to just focus on these two. And again, both of these did fine on garbage day. Unfortunately, they don't work. And with any type of scrap, before you scrap, check to see if it works. There have been a few fans that I found that just have been dust covered, hosed it down, cleaned out the components, it worked no problem. Or there was missing a screw, so it was vibrating, so people got annoyed with the noise, so I just fixed it, was able to resell it. So that is a rule for sure with any scrap. You're gonna make more money selling items in good workable condition. And fans are one of those things I have no problem trying to resell or donating it to different places like Goodwill. It's better than keeping it out of the landfill. But these, unfortunately, beyond my repair, both heavily destroyed. So gonna open these, very easy to do, show you how to identify the material, and more importantly, how to separate it properly and divert all of these two away from the landfill. So here we go, I'm gonna start. This one here, you can see as mentioned, this is heavy, put a magnet to it. The magnet does stick to this cage. It was missing the faceplate, but this cage, because it is magnetic, it's gonna give me tin price. And currently right now in London, Ontario, going for 16 cents a pound. And this has mostly steel. There is or tin I classify because there is a category of tin shred and steel. This could be steel because it is thicker than a 1/4 inch, but because I only have a little bit of this, I actually just throw it right into my tin, so get the 16 cents. Steel is more of your structural beams, I-beams for example. It's about 2 cents more a pound, but again, I'm not going to drive into a different pile in my scrapyard just for a couple cents and only having a little bit of a load. So all of this tin, the fan or the fins here, put a magnet to it too, they stick as well. And interesting, there is a 50-cent sticker on this. I actually did find this one after a huge yard sale. Someone put it out for parts or to try and refurbish. Nobody bought it, so it was left out there. So glad to take it. But again, for me, not worth taking it, repairing it, or trying to because it is missing some parts. As mentioned, the faceplate. So try to find that. Would be hard to do, so gonna scrap it. And as mentioned, the fan here, fins, are magnetic, but you do want to check the fins. I have two examples right here. If I put a magnet to this one, you can see it does not stick, as well as these fins I took out of another fan, non-magnetic. So these are either going to be aluminum or non-magnetic stainless steel. And I commonly refer to the test, my opinion, the most conclusive test, the grinder test. If I hit this with a grinder and it sparks and it is non-magnetic, it's going to be stainless steel. And currently stainless steel non-magnetic is going for about 77 cents a pound. If I hit this with a grinder and it doesn't spark, it's going to be aluminum. So this would be sheet aluminum, currently going for about 45 to 50 cents a pound. So I have my grinder right here. Gonna just check them for you just to make sure. As mentioned, this one has magnetic attraction, so I know that's going to be steel. But little one here, little fan. Okay, so both of these gonna be clean aluminum. I do want to make sure I put a magnet around it. There is right there, some magnetic attraction. So before I get the clean, I do have to just quickly cut that circular element out of there. If I don't, I'm gonna get downgraded to dirty aluminum, which is only about 15 cents. So very easy to do. Aluminum's easy to grind through. So just gonna zip, just like I did with these. Very quick, won't take much of my grinder disc, but gonna upgrade this to 45 to 50 cents a pound. Okay, so just gonna put these off to the side. This one, I have already kind of removed the fin. So again, and this is heavy, so I do have a nice load of tin going out right now. But this one did have, you can see there were a couple parts to it. here is my appliance cord. And this appliance cord right here is going to be classified as 60% appliance wire. Inside, actually, no, I'm sorry, it's not. It's going to be 40% because inside I have 3 strands of copper wire. But notice the middle one there does have a green casing on it. Because there is 2 levels of wire wrapping or coating, this is going to be 40% wire. And currently going for $1.50 a pound, which is an excellent price. There are also some brass connectors on here. I pull these brass prongs off. Right now, brass actually went up 2 cents from yesterday, so today's February 18th. $3.17 a pound for these. Some people, as I said, leave them on for the weight. I pull them off. I have a huge bucket of these. But there is a way you can, for some of these wires, upgrade. And I'm just going to see if I can do that for this. Because it has the green inside, I'm just going to snap with my side cutters right along the sides of the, I'm going to show it in a second. So there's 2, 3 cords. I want to make sure I get it. So you can see now I've just cut it into 3 strands. And notice the green wire is now exposed. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to take that green wire and I'm just going to pull it all the way down. You can see right there, I just got to get my hand on it. So pulling that actually just opens it. There it is, exposes it. So now I have, with this, I have just upgraded. Now I have 2 wire strands here that are only 1 coating of plastic, as well as this one here is going to be 1 coating of plastic. So I've just actually upgraded this from 40% to 60% wire, and that currently right now is $2.55 a pound. The only difference though, when you have 60% wire, you do have to cut off this plug end. If I don't, then I will get downgraded back to 40%. But that is one neat trick when it comes to the 3 strands. Just snapping that open, exposing that green one, and now it will be 1 layer of plastic on all of them. So again, little tips and tricks hopefully to help you maximize your profit. I do find these wires quite often, but again, going from $1.50 a pound to $2.55 a pound in the matter of 5 seconds, make sure you cut off that plug end is a great upgrade. So make sure you also separate as you go along. On the back here, there is a motor that you see. So this motor does have right there, there is a small casing on this, and I will actually remove this casing. So all I'm actually going to do, just to show you, cut as close as I can to this, but I'm not going to get it all just right now, but there it is. There is a zip tie that holds that in. So right now, this would be classified as my 40% appliance wire because it has the individually coated as well as the outer coating. But watch this. Just going to take this. If I slide it off if I can, there is, I think, there it is right there. I just had to grab it. But just taking this sheath off right there, just upgraded that from the $1.50 to $2.55 a pound. So there you go. This is the only thing that's garbage, and this actually doesn't weigh anything. But again, pretty nice little tips and tricks to upgrade. So some nice wire there. The motor here, just going to get this motor very quick. There are a couple bolts, but just going to get it. So this is going to be a nice heavy piece. And I will include in my video full breakdowns, weights, but just going to grab this with a pair of pliers. Okay, but connect. There is a little bit of water, I think, on this one today, so that's not good. So, all right, grabbing this. Okay, so here we go. There we go. Just had to try and get a hold of it there. Sorry, it is cold in here today, but just going to pull off this nut. This is going to have a nice motor inside. Okay, so there we go. There's one. And this is going to have a nice motor. I've got to make sure it's copper. Not sure. Only way to tell is once I open it to scratch the windings to see if it is copper or not. So there we go. Now that I got the vice grips put in the right position, it's going to be a little bit easier. So the nice thing is these are easy to remove. And this pole that you see here, that is going to be an example of steel. But again, don't have much of it. Not going to go drive off to another spot in my the scrapyard. But there we go, last one just to show you. Okay, so there we go. Oh, I love my fans. So there we go, pulling that off. This will slide off. And the nice thing is too, when I'm scrapping, I never have to buy washers and nuts anymore, so I can reuse these. Nice, like I said, nice heavy item here. Gonna weigh a nice bit, easy to store. But here are my different, my motor. One last washer on this. There we go, pulling that. Gonna get this cap off, and I'm not going to completely take apart this motor. I do have full breakdown videos on motors, but I do want to check to see if this is going to be copper or not. I cannot tell just from looking at it, okay, but these screws, again, nice bit. Put those into, I always take my screws and nuts, if I don't use them, I will put them in a big container. Easy to store up, easy to transport. I always have about 10 pounds of them. Okay, it's amazing how quickly you can store up and build up weight just from screws and different items from scrapping. But here's my cover. There is my motor. Just gonna hit this. That's a nice piece. So again, that would be steel because it is thicker than the 1/4 inch, but I just throw it right into my tin. There is my motor. Just gonna hit the top of this. There is a piece of cast on here. Hopefully that's gonna come off. There we go. So you do want to make sure you hit this with a magnet. You can see it is non-magnetic throughout. So cast aluminum right now, going for 80 cents a pound. You do have to be careful with motor heads. Some of them will be zinc cast. And the easiest way to tell is if you put it up to the light. Zinc cast looks like it is the same type of experiment with putting a drop of oil in a puddle. It has that rainbow effect. This does not have that. So again, some nice clean cast aluminum. If it was zinc cast, that right now is going for 45 cents a pound. Okay, so you do want to make sure you check, but do want right now to do my scratch test. There is some coating here, but just want to quickly expose the wire. And there is my wire. And I'm going to just take my file and scratch it to see. You can see right there, that is copper. If I was to scratch that and it'd have a metallic look, it's going to be aluminum. And if it's aluminum, I actually just leave it right in here. I will get the tin price at 16 cents a pound. And I could, because it's copper, I could actually bring this in as is and get copper motor price. It's about 25 cents a pound. But because this is copper right now, this is number 2 copper, and this is going for $4.30 a pound. So well worth my time taking it out of there. Very easy to do, just taking a grinder, one cut across, it will open, or I could just hit it out with a type of pry bar. It will work as well, but very easy to take that copper out. And as I said, I will have a link to my videos for copper bearing motors. So great score of number 2 copper. Okay. Here is a transformer. These transformers, again, this one, if I take it, there is a transformer price at the scrapyard. It's going for about 25 to 30 cents a pound. There are pieces of wire that are coming off here that are copper. So there is copper inside of these. Very easy to open as well. And I also have another video showing you how to open compressors, transformers. And well worth doing it because, as I said, these have a nice hunk of copper inside as well. And I'm gonna make more money from this copper than I would if I was to bring this in and get transformer weight. And the other nice thing about these types of transformers is once I remove the copper, the rest of the shell is still gonna be tin price. So 16 cents a pound, so that for 100% scrappable and just a little bit of work to remove that copper winding. Last one, this one here. Again, I'm not gonna spend too much time on this one, but this one too, neat. The whole shell here is magnetic, so this entire thing is going to be tin. This shell, you can see the cage is also tin. There are a couple zip ties keeping this shut, so just going to cut a couple of these zip ties. So Again, someone was using this to the last leg. So, and I always find some of these oldies are the goodies for sure. You know, things aren't made like they used to be for sure. You know, things these days tend to break down a lot easier. But there it is, nice cage here. I'm gonna just look at this fan here. Oh, one more zip tie, get this one. Just so I can remove this cage. Okay, so there we go. Okay, and I gotta be careful of my eyes here. There is a couple, try to get at that zip tie, there we go. Okay, but there are a couple broken pieces on there. Okay, again, I'm gonna do the magnet test, see if these fins are magnetic. They are not, so hit that with a grinder again. It's gonna probably be aluminum, but only way to tell is the spark test. So no spark, so aluminum as well. There is a screw here that I'm gonna have to remove. I'm hoping this is it. I'm probably gonna have to get a different screw for that. But the base here, I'm gonna probably have to come from the bottom. This is a 12-inch GNC. So there are some screws. This seems to be a lot older, but it's gonna have the wire on here. There's gonna be a small motor inside of there. Again, this fin is aluminum, okay? Another appliance wire, just gonna cut this one here. This one is your example of my 60%. You can see there's only 2 layers of, or 2 wires there, 1 layer of plastic. So great 60% wire here. I do have to remove, as mentioned, my plug end. So notice this old plug in hand here, yellow brass, you see the prongs. This is pretty chewed up there, but again, to get this 60% appliance wire, do have to remove the plug end. And I am actually curious to see if I can actually just with this screwdriver open this up. Not sure if I can, probably not. But I'm just gonna, because I have the camera on, I might have to just get a couple different screwdrivers because the screws in here, some of them are a little stubborn. I might have to hit this with a little bit of WD-40. Okay, not sure on the make or the year of this fan. It doesn't say on here. If any of my scrapper friends or even any of my antique dealers and people, if you know the year of this, it'd be awesome to weigh in. As mentioned, amazing what you can find on garbage day, but this is kind of cool. It has the off and level 1, 2. So neat fan, but just goes to show you that you will find anything and everything on garbage day or scrap day. So again, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to get all of these screws out. I am very interested in seeing what's on the bottom. And I'm hoping if I can get this one, there we go, get this one screw, maybe I could pry up the bottom here, we'll see. But this is really interesting, this fan here. So don't come across them like this a lot, but you know, I'm up to the challenge. See if I can just break this open a little bit. So there we go. So this is going to be steel as well. Inside of it, you can see there is a little bit more cord. Okay, so there is a screw. Actually, I think I'm just going to hit this with the grinder. Open the screw up. I don't want to turn my camera off and then, you know, discover something really important here. So again, a little bit more steel or tin. Here is, oh, there's a nice fan there that has the transformer. So look at that beautiful copper winding on there. Look at the nice brass connectors. Those are actually brass. If I take one of these out, so a lot of actually older items, your screws, your nuts, they can be brass. So very easy to tell. If it looks like it, it's not a conclusive test because sometimes they could be disguised as brass, but if I scratch this, it does reveal the gold look to it. So some brass nuts. These again, $3.15 for this, a pound. So there are some on here, lots of them. Look at all that nice brass on the side. Some really nice copper. This switch, Look at that. Just gonna move that. There actually may be some silver on this. I'm looking, there's silver contact. Nope, but there is a little bit of brass in the bottom too. So some really nice brass on this. This switch, again, gonna be a nice hunk of yellow brass. And inside of here, if I go all the way up, I am gonna have to open this to pop off that cap, but there is gonna be another motor inside. So again, I'm gonna do that off camera. I was glad to see this and get this on camera, but I am gonna have a little bit of grinding ahead of me, and I will just make sure that I put final weights on the bottom. So some older style fans, 100% scrappable, excellent items, loaded with copper, brass, lots of tin, and again, you wanna check the fins because they can be aluminum, if not magnetic, or stainless steel. I have seen some stainless steel. Unfortunately, I did not have an example here, which could be a good thing, could be a bad thing, but they all are out there. There's tons of styles. And this one as well, do have a full breakdown. There is gonna be a nice copper motor in here. It does have a plastic fan to it, but the casing here is going to be tin. So gonna get a lot of tin on these. You know, a lot of items diverted from the landfill. And again, fans continue to add up with scrap value. So thank you for watching that. Please, again, if anyone knows the year or make of that, great for you to weigh in, you know, or antique value, if you will. But again, beyond repair for me, glad I was able to at least divert it from the landfill. So hope you enjoyed that. Please comment down below, like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Tin Man out.